Neverending Chain by Dragon Translator. Chapter 125. What be this core you speak of? Her strength renewed, Gyda stood. She stared down at Gothi, a frown playing around her face. A mage was supposed to see the magic in those gifted with its power. That was how she was found to hold the gift. Her father saw her core fluctuate as her magic became active. Still, it did not surprise her that Gothi held magic. Gyda actually began to suspect it. Gothi had not seemed shocked by the barrier Gyda used to split the cave, and never once balked whenever Gyda used her magic since coming to this time. Yet, Gothi could not figure out how she had not seen Hiccup's magic become active until the barrier, and had not seen Gothi's magic at all. The elder tilted her head and snapped her fingers. Gyda's eyes widened. She saw Gothi's core, and saw it flashing the bluish green of healing, though a touch of black undercut the hue. Gyda blinked, now surprised. She had no idea why Gothi would choose illusion to master along with healing. Gothi stared at Gyda for several seconds, and then placed her fingers against her lips and jerked her head towards Astrid, who still carried Hiccup, and Moondust, who still worked to keep Toothless from falling over. Gyda nodded her head, understanding the silent command. Tend to those who needed it now. Answers could come later. Gyda turned to Stoic and frowned. Sir, the bed? We need to get Hiccup laid down. Astrid is strong, but she can't hold him like that all night. Stoic, his gaze still on Gothi, shook himself. He turned and moved the 4 full-sized bearskins hanging along the back room. He took them down, revealing his bed behind them. Dropping them onto the floor, Stoic moved to the small table and 2 chairs set between the bed and the fire pit. He shoved them all to the right wall and made sure they were out of the way. He then returned to the bearskins and laid 2 down side by side, putting the other 2 on top of those. He took Hiccup from Astrid. Hiccup began to fight his father's hold, reaching out and making grasping motions with his hands. Stoic quickly, but gently, placed him in the middle of the bearskins. Astrid claimed his left side. She wrapped her arms around his waist and placed her head upon his chest. Hiccup calmed and rolled to his side, pulling Astrid closer, though he never once opened his eyes. Moondust aided Toothless closer. Toothless dropped, tucking against Hiccup's back, and his tail curled to lay against Astrid's back. No, Toothless, Gyda said. I need to keep an eye on Hiccup's core. Don't put your wing over them. Toothless, eyes still closed, hissed something in the old tongue. His sister, laying upon the rafter above the fire pit, snorted. You have a fire at your back, brother, she said. I doubt they will get cold. Toothless grumbled and his sister chortled, shaking her head. Brother Protector, Sharpshot said, I will lay upon Brother Alpha. That way he can stay warm. Toothless crooned and then warbled. Sneaky fluttered down from the loft. I will lay upon Lady Alpha so she stays warm, Nest Protector. Toothless huffed but made a soft warbling chitter. The 2 terrors gently climbed into Hiccup and Astrid and laid down. Toothless's wings still twitched but tucked back against his body, and did not cover those beside him. Moondust moved to walk around those in the floor, but stopped when Stoic placed a hand upon her back. Gyda tilted her head, a grin playing around her lips, as Stoic shook his head and pointed to the spot above Hiccup and Astrid's head. Moondust's sensing lobes lifted and lowered, then twitched madly. Lay down, lass. Stoic said, You deserve to rest, as well. And you be as part of this family as anyone here. Moondust blinked, and Stoic chuckled. I may not be well versed in dragons, not like my boy Hiccup, but I not be blind. You care, or else you not be helping me other boy. Moondust turned to look at Gyda. Gyda smiled. In the time she had been staying with Gyda, Moondust had opened up. At night, while the rest of the house slept, Gyda and Moondust would talk, much like Gyda did with Astrid when staying in the Hoffersons' home. During those talks, Moondust revealed the full story of what happened to her, as well as all the reasons she had asked Hiccup if she could live in the nest. Gyda had come to see the female as another daughter, and Moondust had come to trust Gyda's advice. Gyda knew Moondust was silently asking what she should do by looking at her. Gyda skirted around those on the skins and knelt in front of Moondust. She leaned closer so that she could whisper, "I know, but you do not have to fear. I promise you he is not that male. He will never act like that or hurt you like that. He will not take this night and read more into it than you want him to, so long as you let him know what you mean. No human and no dragon can read another's mind, so you will have to explain to him what is going on. Just remember this. You are free to choose the future you want. Your alpha will never betray you, and his brother will never dishonor you." Moondust pressed into Gita, and Gita lifted her hands to hold the female's head for a heartbeat. "Lay down and get some rest." Moondust nodded, her head still pressed against Gita. She then stepped back and laid down, curling around Hiccup and Astrid's heads. Gita smiled as Toothless shifted his tail back so Moondust could get closer to Astrid. Her smile grew as Toothless tugged his tail alongside, but not touching the female Night Fury.
"Okay," Stoic said. "They be down. Now, what be this core you speak of?"
Gita opened her mouth to answer, but the door opened. Gobber, followed by Brynja and Edis, walked in. "The boys are sleeping in the nursery, Chief," Edis said before anyone could speak. "Torgir and Hilda promised to keep an eye upon them. Now, what is wrong?"
"Gobber, shut the door,"
Stoic said before turning back to Gita.
"You want to explain, lass?"
Gita stood. "According to all I have been taught, magic is part of the foundation of this world. It can be a gift as well as a burden to bear. Those who can wield it can do miraculous and marvelous things, but it has a weakness. It takes the strength of the caster to operate. The greater the spell, the greater the toll upon the magic user. Time, training, and conditioning gives endurance to the magic user, so they won't die, but a novice does not have that." Gita paused and looked at Gothi, who moved to the stairs and sat down upon the lowest one. Magic in a person is also something another magic user should be able to see. Until right now, I had not seen evidence that any in the tribe had the gift.
"Okay, but what does that have to do with Hiccup?"
Brynja said.
"And why is my future son asleep and my daughter holding him like he almost died?"
Gita took a deep breath. "Because he almost did. The barrier of solid air that Brynja hit, and that fire that burned him, was magic. And I did not do it. I was not close enough. Hiccup is a magic user. He has the gift. He also used the strongest barrier spell known to a mage, and added a cage of fire within it. That much magic drained his strength, but almost cracked his core. He was dying, but his core stabilized, and now he is just recovering." Edis gasped, hands flying to her mouth. Brynja grunted, and his eyes narrowed.
"That be why you ordered him in here? But what is this core you speak of?"
Gita tilted her head. She knew this would go against what they, as Vikings, believed, but she knew of no other way to explain it. Everyone in the world holds within them a core, a ball, if you will. It is the seed of magic placed within us when we are born. For some, that seed will remain asleep, because they are not gifted with the ability to wield magic. For those who do have the gift, there will be a point in their life where the core awakens and allows them to access the magic. The awakening is never without its dangers. Back home, most awakenings happened under the supervision of master mages, skilled in keeping the novice alive during the process. Hiccup's core awoke with him using that barrier and fire spell to keep Bear's Pit from attacking Astrid again. It was neither gentle nor quiet, like most of the awakenings back home. Gita looked down as she heard Astrid shift on the bearskins. "Don't, Astrid," she said. "Don't blame yourself for this. Bear's Pit is at fault, not you." Astrid stared up at her, eyes narrowed. "Hiccup would rather die than live in a world without you and those he loves in it." Gita stated. "You know that." "She'll be right," Gobber said. "Both about it being Bear's Pit what caused all this,
and about Hiccup not wanting his family gone. You're included in that, lass.
So Hiccup is okay now, right? Edith said, looking as if she wanted to join her daughter in holding the teen. Yes, Gita replied. His core is stable, and he is recovering. Though he will wake during the night, and has to be reassured his loved ones are near, or his core will become unstable again. Come morning, if nothing goes wrong, he will be fine and in no immediate danger of death. I will then need to train him, so that his gift does not sap all his strength.
Now I see why Gobber came for us,
Brynja said.
Yes, Stoic said, and we be keeping eyes on Hiccup. Maybe Gothi will be so kind as to explain how she can wield this magic and never once tells her chief.
Gita saw Gothi cut her eyes at Stoic and had to refrain from giggling. If Stoic thought his tone of voice would unnerve the elder, he really had another thing coming. Gothi tapped her staff on the floor and pointed to the piece of bark Gobber still held. The blacksmith handed it back to the elder. She scribbled something and then handed it back to Gobber. Gobber read it and choked. I gotta say that! It's the chief! End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that. That was funny. And also, a very serious thing. In a few chapters, you finally learn what truly happened to Moondust, and oh my god, I can't even fathom what she went through. That is just no. But it's setting it up right now. And one thing I love about this, Gita said that she sees Moondust as a daughter. Now Moondust has someone to turn to because of what she went through. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and albino pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.